Okay, hey guys, good evening. This is Demetrius from Akeelah Traders, and so I'm doing a pretty quick video here tonight because I've been watching and following the price of Bitcoin, and I want to do a follow-up video. We've done one maybe a week or so ago about the Fibonacci retracement and how we were using that to kind of take some trades on Bitcoin. So I want to take a look at that tonight because today is December 20th, 2023. There's a lot of talk about Bitcoin, this momentum, and kind of where is it going, and is it going to hit the 50,000, 54,000, something like that. And so I want to use one of our Fibonacci tools and just kind of show what I'm doing as far as trading Bitcoin. I'm right now not looking at just the purchase of Bitcoin, but I'm looking at it as a trade. So to kind of see where's this next move and where it may be going. So I'm going to jump right into this. So we're going to be using today the Fibonacci retracement tool and the Fibonacci extension tool is what I should say, part of that. So let's take a look at this overall move. Well, actually, I'm gonna do both in this case because I'm looking at Bitcoin right now on the 4-hour chart. I could be looking at it on the daily. Let's see if the daily smooths it out a little bit for us. Yeah, it kind of does. So let's look at it here on the daily chart, and I'm going to show you how I would use this tool to kind of project, where Bitcoin may be going, and at least for our next trade, probably going into Christmas. Today is Wednesday, again, December 20th. Christmas is Monday, so the Christmas Eve weekend will be here in just a couple of days. So let's start with this tool, and I'm going to start with my basic Fibonacci. And so I'm going to go to my Fibonacci retracement, and I want to track this last big move that we had. And so the last significant move that we had, we got some momentum out of, started right around this area here. And so I could start here, or maybe because we had a little bit of consolidation right here, I'm going to go to this point. So for the Fibonacci, you're pretty much going to select the lowest point, start from there, and then drag it to the highest point that the price reached. And so that highest point pulls up to here. And when we do that, the Fibonacci tool is going to give us these levels. Now, in some of my settings, I have a few extra levels in here that some people may or may not have. But the one that's important that we want to look at is this golden ratio, the 0.618. And so what this tells me is that out of this last move that Bitcoin made starting back on November 27th, we had this big push up that pushed the price all the way up to a high of around 44,000. 700 44.8, something like that, just under $45,000. And it was at that point, excuse me, when we did the last video that I said I was expecting to see a retracement here. I was expecting Bitcoin to fall back down to this 40,000, 41,000 area. You'd have to look at that previous video to see exactly where I was projecting then, but it did exactly that. After we got up to this high here around December 8th, that weekend, people were expecting Bitcoin to take off and go to this 50,000. And we kind of pointed out in there that just based on this particular tool of technical analysis, that was not likely to happen until we got some momentum, some more momentum, excuse me, coming back down here. And so this is where we are now. And so what's important to me is when we did pull back, how far did the price of Bitcoin pull back? And so here it actually pulled back to past the 50 level and did not come to that 0.618 golden ratio level. So this is the zone I would have been expecting it to come to between this 50 and the 618. That's exactly what it did. And so this was a good buy opportunity once the price showed that it did not want to stay down in this area. And so we had an opportunity to buy it here right around 41,000. Again, we had this rejection that rejected here around 41.5, and this last big rejection was around 41.4 or so. And so it's showing me that right now, the current momentum for Bitcoin is showing that it does not want to stay down in this 40,000 range. It's ready to make a push back up. The market's going to do what the market does. So we could possibly see another drop back down to test this golden ratio area here, which it has not been tested since we broke above this level. This 618 level has not been tested. So I'm going to do a couple of likely scenarios here. The first one is that within the next couple of days, Bitcoin just sells off and we see something similar to this. We see a drop down and we come back down to test this 0.618 area. which is around 40,000, 39,700. For a long-term move up, for us to really get momentum to push past 50,000, 54,000, or something like that, I would expect to see that kind of a move. Okay. All right. So that's the first scenario we're going to look at, just using the the Fibonacci retracement there. So let me back up and kind of undo that. So now that being said, let's look and see where we are currently, because I'm going to do some other fib levels within here. Oh, I'm forgetting them all. Let me go back to my go-to. Okay, let's get rid of this one. Now let's go and take a look. Since it seemed to be holding this 50 area right here, that 50% retracement area, I'm going to take a look and do a Fibonacci here between this low and these other highs to see how much of a retracement are we getting here, and are we indeed really looking to push forward a little bit. Okay, so for that purposes, I'm going to use the Fibonacci extension. And so what the extension is, it's a tool that's designed to help us to say, is this move likely to continue up, or is it likely to go back down and test what I would call the mother structure, the bigger overall structure of support before it goes up. So to do that, I'm going to use this Fibonacci extension. And so here for the trend base fib extension. And now for the extension, there's 3 data points that you use for that one. It's designed to say, show me where a move started, go up to the high point of that move, and then see how far back it retraced. What was the first big retracement on that? And so for that point purposes, I'm going to use these 3 points. I'm going to start here. This was the low of that move around December 11th. The price got up to this high on the next day, December 13th. So that high is right in this area here. And then the third one will actually pull back to see, okay, once we made this high, or after this push up, how far back did the market retrace? And it came back to this point. And I think what's very interesting here is we saw a double bottom here. We saw a double bottom right around, looks like this price is 40,600. Okay, so the way we're going to use this fib extension is the way to interpret this tool. In my opinion, the best way to interpret it is to see, once we made this push up, still the golden ratio area is important. This 0.618. This is the magic number that we're looking for. And so we're looking to see that once price pushed up, made a pretty big move up, it retraced back and closed. Did we come back and get above the 0.618 area? And I want you all to see something that's very important, just to show you how critical this Fibonacci tool is. I mean, it's called by several different names. I mean, I would call it the God ratio, or the God system, because it's one of those kind of tools that is replicated throughout pretty much all of creation. And so if you kind of do some YouTube video searches, you'll look up some things and see Fibonacci occurring in nature, and it's part of our anatomy and those kinds of things. So it's a very important number. So I want you to see that after we made this push up and came back, how price tried to break above, and it stopped immediately at this 0.618 area. That's no coincidence, folks. Again, that number is very important, and you'll see that we tried to initially push up here and got rejected. It came back down. But on this last push up, this big bull candle that we just made today, here, December 20th, we see that the price actually did push up and break past this. And so we got to close here above this 618 area. So the way to interpret this extension tool is, the rule that I like to use is, if you push up and price closes and gets above this 0.618 area, then most likely that the price is going to continue going up. It verifies that this is a move up. It verifies that the price does want to continue up, as opposed to retracing back down. So the next target area for that would be, if it clears the 0.618, the next target area would be the 1.618. And so that would give us a course of something like this. And it would say that this Bitcoin is right in here. We could possibly come back, and play with this 1.618 area a little bit. But most likely, if it does push down to this area, it may consolidate here a little bit. But then we're going to see this kind of a move. We're going to see something like this to come at least up to this area. I'm actually going to color that green because that will be the bullish scenario. And so, short term, personally, I'm playing this bullish scenario for as far as my trades because the overall mother structure does say that we should be pushing back to come down to here to get some momentum. But all these other fundamental things that are in place, it's almost Christmas time. People are talking crypto, gifts and all these different kinds of things here. And so that supported by this technical, Fibonacci extension tells me once we got a daily close above this 618, and it wasn't just a small close. I mean, we tried to close here and got rejected, but this is a very big bullish engulfing candle here. And so this candle here engulfed several of the previous candles and just showed strong bullish momentum. And so the trade that I would be executing here on Bitcoin is to do a buy right in this area where we are, 43,400, somewhere in this range. I would put a stop loss down here below the 0.618. I would expect that level to hold because it already pushed up above it. So stop loss just below here. Let's see where the zero point 0.5 area is. It's at 42.2. And so I would put a stop loss somewhere down here below this 50% area, just as a cushion. And so stop loss around 42,180, something in that range. So right now the price is 43.4. Stop loss around 42. Let's just round it off to 42.2. That's give us about a $1,200 stop loss. And so in my mind, this is a good opportunity to buy one Bitcoin or trade one Bitcoin rather for $1,200. And the goal would be this would be a risk of about $1,200 down here. And the payoff, the reward would be to take this from 43.4 up to almost 46,000. So that's about $2,000. Excuse me, $2,600. It's about $2,600. So risk to reward ratio looks pretty favorable there. And so that's the trade that I'm going to be taking. If those of you follow us and we trade on the Forex market, we're able to trade fractions of this. So I'm personally taking something like a quarter or half a Bitcoin, something along that line. And so the risk for me would be, let's just say a half a Bitcoin. So if I did a half a Bitcoin trade, that would be about, let me put my little thing on here that's going to tell me my long. So let's say I'm going to enter a long position. So I'm going to enter this long position somewhere right around here where price is now. Just for our sake, I'll put it here. And my risk, my stop, I want my stop to be down here just below this 50. And my take profit to be just here under this 1.618. So right in this area. Okay. So that tells me my risk to reward ratio is almost a 2-to-1. And so if I'm going to do a half a Bitcoin or something here, this is going to be, again, approximately, let me use my measure tool here. So from here down to here, that is about a $1,200 move in Bitcoin. So half of that is $600. So the risk is going to be $600 for the reward of half of $2,500. So, roughly $1,200. So a good 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I'll take that all day. Okay. So hopefully you guys find this video pretty, educational, at least informative as to how you would use this tool. So take a look, at the market here. If you are trading on a trade exchange where you're able to do take actual trades, I would take this particular trade, and if and when we hit this 45,900 area, something like this, I'm going to be taking profit and closing out the majority of that trade with the momentum. If we have momentum going into this, once we pass 45,000, and this was the previous resistance way, way, way back here. If I go back in time. Let's see. Let's see what this area looks like. Yeah, back in time here, back to April of 22. That was the last time that we hit above this area in here. So if we break through this area here, the price is really probably going to go up to this candle area here, somewhere in the 46,800 or so. But I'm not going to play that. I would be expecting it to to retrace some before we saw that kind of move up. Okay, so hopefully this helped, and that's the trade that we're going to be taking on Bitcoin. Let me find back where we were. Let me just reset this. Okay, yeah, so that's the trade that we're going to be taking here at Akeelah Traders, and so I'll hopefully this helps you guys, and you know you can we'll follow back up a little bit later, probably after Christmas time. We'll be able to see what kind of momentum we'll have going into the new year, and we'll follow back up on it a little bit later. Then I may, if I get a chance, to do another video to see, did this scenario play out. Did we get the bullish push up, or did we get the bearish retracement back down here to get momentum? Okay, all right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. See you next time. Thanks. Oh, please leave us some comments in the section here. If you're seeing this on our YouTube channel, hit the like button, of course, please, for us. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our channel. Put the bell on so as we post videos like this, you're able to see these. We're trying to do several things to kind of give you an idea of some of the tools that we're using. We have automated trading systems that we're using and other technical tools that we use to kind of help you, understand how they assess the market, and not just the crypto market, but any other markets as well. So leave us a comment there if there's something that you want to see us take a look at. Put a comment there, and we'll be glad to do a video on it. Okay, see you guys next time. Thanks.